Hello, welcome to Lesson 4. What we will learn, we're going to cover Nav Bar and hyperlinks, images, image size, and how to credit our photographer. The new words of the day, navigation, hyperlinks/links, anchor tag, href attribute, images, image tag, source attribute, alt attribute, JPEGs, PNGs, SVGs, GIFs, and plagiarism. Nav bar. The navigation bar helps a visitor get from one place to another. This nav bar is probably one of the most complex ones I've seen. They actually have 11 links that you can go to. I believe they have 7 on top and 6 here on the bottom. So this is the Pokemon site's nav bar. There's a lot of places you can go visit. Hyperlink or links take the visitor to a new section or page by clicking on a text or image. And if we look at this site over here, this page of the Pokemon site, we notice that we are on their Pokemon TV page, and it turns green when you click on it. And then if we move on over to this site, when you click on the trading card game link, it's going to take you to the Pokemon trading card page. Okay, so we are going to be taking our home page, our page 2, and our page 3, and we're going to be linking them to those specific pages. And we are going to learn how to code that up. Here's a hyperlink code. You will need an anchor tag, which identifies the hyperlink. And you will also need an href attribute, and that names the link's destination. And here's an example of what coding that up would look like. So here's your anchor tag, and then right now you have a space, and then you're going to type in href. And this one is saying for my index file, HTML file, it's going to have home on my page. That's what's going to be on my page when you click on my home button or my home text. It will take you to the index HTML page. I'm going to show you a few more examples. Here is a nav bar, right? And we coded something similar to this in our last lesson. So we have our nav tag, and inside of that we wrote something like home, page 2, page 3, and then we closed it. And then to hyperlink that specific navigation bar, we would still have it inside the nav tags, the opening and closing one, and you would say a anchor tag, href index HTML is going to be the home page, and then my you're going to repeat that all over again. The anchor tag href for page my page 2 HTML, that's going to say page 2, but this is the name of the file. And again, the same thing for page 3. You're saying the anchor tag and the href. The name of page 3 is page3.html. Okay, I'm going to show you one more example. This one's a little bit different. In this navigational bar, you'll always have an index HTML. That every single site will have an index HTML page, because that's always going to be the home page. The bottom one, this next anchor href, this one actually on their navigational bar would say hobbies, okay? And this is the name of their file, hobbies.html. Their very next link would be for a Disneyland page, and it would be linked to their disney.html file, okay? This is the example we just finished looking at right here. And this would be like a clip of, this is what it would view on the browser. So lesson 4, home page, if you notice, it's a different color. It's got like this purple color, and that's letting you know that these specific texts have been linked. So if I were to click on this home page, it's going to take me to the home page. If I click on hobbies, it would take me to a hobbies page. And if I clicked on Disneyland, it would take me to a Disneyland page. If on my Disneyland page, this navigational bar is going to be on all 3 pages, and I could click on the home page and it'll bring me back to my home page. Okay, we're going to do a hands-on section to this with our lesson 3 that we've set up, and this will make more sense in our hands-on portion once we go over that video. Okay. Now we're going to go over images. We touched on this a little bit, so we kind of went over an image tag, and if you remember, the image tag is going to have the left angle bracket, and then you would type in img. Remember, you needed a source, and that's the path to where the image is at. And for this class, we have our images in a file, so it's going to take the path will be to that file and the name of that image. And Alt, if an image is not displaying because it is not found, the text description will be shown. And we did that in our last lesson, so you guys are familiar with this. The image tag does not have a closing tag, and source and alt are required attributes. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't have a source, like you don't right now currently in lesson 3, you notice there is no image that will be displayed. And an alt is a great attribute because you want to be able to have that text description of what that image would be if it's not being displayed. There's different types of image extensions, and these are a few of them. .jpeg, or it could be .jpg, .png, .svg, and .gif. Okay, these are different extensions to different types of images. Here's an image width and height. So this is an image that I saved in my file, and I'm going to show you that the dimensions of this image is 640 by 427 pixels. Okay, so that's letting me know how big that image is. And also I wanted to point out there's my extension, so I know what type of extension this image has. Now let's say for the site that I'm creating, and I feel like, I really don't like how big this picture is displaying on the browser once I refresh it and I see the size of it. I found this really cool resize image calculator. It's this is a site. It's red/route.org. And what I did is I entered the original sizes up here, the width and the height. And then I just randomly started picking different widths until I found one that I liked. So on the browser itself, it's displaying like this original size, and then it's going to display the new size that you're choosing. And once you find a size by playing around with either the width or the height, then you can take this new image size, the new dimensions, right, and enter that into your code. So let me show you what that would look like. So we have the original, and then we have the new dimensions, and this is what I would be coding up. So I would start with my image tag and then my source. I have this image. Here's the name of my image inside my img file. So I would type img/pikachu.jpg. My alt, what I chose to write in my alt, and you choose whatever you feel is the best description for your image. I typed in Pikachu at the park. My width now is the width that I took from here, and it's 230 for my width. My height is going to be 153. So you're going to write width equal, inside quotation marks, the new width, space, height equal, and inside quotes, you'd write the new height. And then you want to have that right angle bracket. And then the new dimensions, or the new size of the image will show up on your browser once you type it. And one last very important thing I want to point out is make sure that if you are not using your own images that you have taken, oops, that's not what I wanted to, I'll come back to that, is to make sure you give credit to the photographer. So a lot of my images that I've chosen for this course are in Unsplash. And I want to make sure that I credit this specific photographer is Michael Rivera. That's just, you don't want to plagiarize. That means taking someone else's work as if it's yours. You're basically stealing. You want to make sure that you credit whoever's work you're borrowing. This specific site, Unsplash, is a site where there are free images for you to use. They just ask that you credit the photographers, okay? And the last thing I wanted to also point out is the image width and height is measured in pixels. All right, so this concludes lesson 4, and I will see you in the next video for our hands-on practice for lesson 4. See you then.